Classic Working Vehicles. We're at the point now where we're doing the final touches on the chassis of the Unimog that we were restoring, so putting in pipe work and electrical work, things of that sort. So it's actually quite handy to have my own Unimog sat here with the tipper bed up, because I can have a look at the pipe work and things on that just as a reference, so I can see where everything goes through, because there is quite a lot to fit. And if we look at the 421 I'm busy restoring, you can see I've got pipe work and things ready to go on here, and we need to fit this. It's got to fit all around the front PTO shaft. We've got brake lines to put in, various things of that sort. And I bought some nice new sleeve to put over the wiring loom. I've stripped the old sleeve off the wiring loom that runs down the chassis because it was all brittle and falling apart. The cables themselves were good. I did a continuity test, so testing that they will actually carry current all the way through, and they will. So we can reuse the actual cables, but the outer sleeve needed replacing. So these are the cables that run down the chassis, which will be inside that new sleeve I've purchased. And all I've done with these, as I say, is test them and clean them up with some brake cleaner. And then we'll feed that back through and be able to refit it. And what we're building up to here, we're getting all these jobs done, is getting to the point where we can get the cab back on. Right, so let's get on with fitting some of these things. So I'm at the point now where I can put the gaiter on that goes over all these gear sticks. This has to go on because it sits actually underneath the cab. It can be quite a fiddle to get all these various gear sticks and levers through here, particularly with the handbrake, because the handbrake sits horizontally when it's in position. So what I tend to do is take the tension off or put a bit of tension on the handbrake, clamp it in place, undo the circlip, slide it off and put that through first. And then these levers are relatively vertical now, so that should make it a little bit easier for sliding it on, he says. Some nice new balls or knobs, whichever you prefer. Gear knob. So believe me, getting the gaiter on that way with the handbrake removed is so much easier than trying to pass it over. So even though it takes a couple of minutes to get it on and off, in the end it saves you time. Well, I don't know, it's looking like we might be ready to put the cab on. All the wiring and hoses are on. Pretty confident everything's there. There's a few things that I'll need to put on under the cab once it's in place. But what I've tried to do is focus on the stuff that I know is difficult to access once the cab's in place. But before we can do that, we've got to move a few Unimogs. So let's get on with that. well, another day, another t-shirt. Before I can put the cab back onto the chassis, there's a few parts that need fitting first, either because they're inaccessible once the cab is on, or just difficult. So just so you can understand what's going on, this linkage here is connected to the injector pump and is controlling the amount of fuel that's coming in and therefore the engine speed. But there's this bell crank here, and we have another bell crank, which we'll have a look at the moment, and that rolls down as you open the throttle. That rolls down this slope, and the pedal is connected to the other end of this. The reason it's done in that way is because the cab is designed to tilt. It just means that this can tilt away from this bell crank when it's lifted. There's nothing to unclip. But what we need to make sure is that this one that goes in the cab, we've got new bushes to fit in there. So we need to fit this, and also fit this as well, because once the cab is on, you can't get it into that area of the cab structure. So this is the hand throttle stop. When the lever's below there, that's engine off. There is tick over, and then this quadrant is where you set the RPM. And to be able to do that, I've assembled some of these parts now. These comb washers create a spring, and then there's this rubber washer which creates friction. So we need to put the rubber washer on and then slide through the lever. Something like that. So you adjust the tension by turning that cap. There should be a rubber cap on there that I don't have at the moment. But that will go on when I've got hold of one. So that's what it's set to tick over. There'll be some fine tuning to do once it's actually in and the engine is running. But I've set it approximately for the time being. Well, it feels like a significant moment. I think we're finally at the point, after all these months, that the restored cab can be put onto the restored chassis, what they're usually calling vehicle manufacturing, the marriage. So let's get on with the ceremony. So we've got the cab suspended above the chassis. There is plenty of potential for it to get hung up on various things. You know, you can see things like the where the throttle pedal is connected. It has the potential to get hooked up. We've got all these cables and things wrapped up on here. So it's not going to come down in one smooth go. I need to take the time, get the gear sticks through and the handbrake and things of that sort. So it'll be a gradual process. So I'm just putting a bit of cloth in there so this chain doesn't damage my paintwork. I was using a piece of card for that, but it's now getting in the way. Well, that seemed to go remarkably smoothly. It's on. I've had a walk around. I don't think there's any pinched hoses or cables or anything snagged up. So I think we can bolt it down. Well, I think getting the cab back on the chassis feels like quite a major milestone. So that's probably enough for this episode. So I hope it's been interesting. Hope you've enjoyed the content. Next episode, what I'll be starting to do is fit out the cab. So electrical fittings, hydraulic fittings, steering, pedal boxes, all those sorts of things. So we're getting closer and closer to it being a drivable vehicle once again. If you're enjoying the content and you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel out. It doesn't cost you anything, but it definitely helps me out. Not least because it keeps me motivated and keeps me making new content of this sort. So thank you for all of those who have subscribed. It really helps the channel out. Anyway, thanks for watching as ever, and I'll see you in the next one.